individual university lab tests according to the government standard. And it shows 11% to 17%, or the other car, 1% to 36% of saving with different speed. And also it showed 50% of NOx, which is a very big problematic toxic gas. It showed a great result. And yes, I have a theory why it can save fuel and then it can reduce the toxic gas. It's about reducing the temperature of the flame and enlarging the size of the flame by using the water. But if you use the water, it's going to be just the extinguisher. But if you use some nanoparticle and some manipulation of water, then you can have a great effect. So I have a little bit of demonstration upstairs, and also I want to explain more about how it's going on. The real reason why I came here is we want to look for some academic partner to research about this effect. We have enough evidence, and we have great results already, but we are lacking some academic research about this. So if you're interested in having some cooperation with us, so we will be very happy to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. And our next speaker is Michiko Hayashi. Please come forward.
Hello everyone, my name is Michiko Hayashi from Emoto Peace Project and from the office Masaru Emoto from Tokyo. I will be giving I have my poster presentation, and the title is The Message from Water and Effective Hado Vibrational Therapy. I came from the office of Dr. Emoto, and Dr. Emoto was the doctor of alternative medicine before he started doing the research on water. And so my presentation up there is about what he was doing, how he was treating people using this Hado vibrational machine and water, transmitting information to cancel out the root cause of the problem that people were having. And nowadays we have the evolved version of Hado vibrational machine. So if you go up there, you will be able to see what we have and how Dr. Emoto was treating people, treating or healing or helping people. So I hope you will be going up there to see the presentation. And if you are interested in the copy of my poster presentation, I brought about 15 copies of printed versions, so please feel free to come to me. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Michiko.
Yeah, it's okay? Okay.
Good. The next one is Dan Voleva.
Hi, everybody. I need to connect my cell phone to the computer. Can someone help me? Yeah, then is this HDMI. Yeah, it's here. I'll be presenting water application, which I worked on for 2 years. I have a very rare profession, water sommelier. Yes, and this helped me actually to, I think it's a bridge also for the science, for the people to get deeper into water, because we are drinking everyday water. So you can see here, may I have the pointer also? Yep. Which one is the laser? So yeah, it's like a library of all the waters. The first, yeah. So you can find all the waters in the world here. Then you can go inside every water and check out different kind of information. For example, if you want to have a description, you just open it and you read it. If you're very lazy, as we all are, then you can just listen to it.
By nature, from a unique spring deep in the mountains.
Yeah. So further on, you can see what the water is good for here. Also clickable to open this would be for heart if you have a lot of magnesium in the water. The basic information from the country where it's from, then you can see all the mineral composition in it. Also, every part is readable and openable, so you can also listen and learn about the minerals. What we did also, we converted the mineral composition into sound. So that would be like more entertainment for the people. It would sound like this, for example, this specific water. So it's like very funny. And yeah, you can find also water sommelier review and find about the water, the taste description and what is good for food to pair with or with wine and so on. All kind of interesting things, packaging and so on. Then you can go, if you know what you are searching for exactly, that would be for science, for example. You can search different kind of minerals in the water. That would be the total mineralization. Or you can play around with, it's a filter, or with pH. Or you want to find, for example, seawater or meltwater. Seawater would be for Mr. Aguado. Or you want to find water with a lot of silicium. So you just put how much you wanted, and you find in every country water with silicium. That would help also, as I understood, water with silicium transfers better information of the water. So different kinds of waters, spring water, well water, meltwater, and so on. Then you can also go to the positioning directly. For example, if you need something for your family, you just press on the family button, for example, and you search for baby water or everyday water, or if you have a hangover, you can also go to hangover. So many different kind of options which would help to get over or to increase your sports qualities. Yeah, and the last thing is what I wanted to show, that we have a lot of different things. And for example, you can go to Aquagram, water Aquagram. That would be a collaboration with Everina and Rumiana Tsenkova. So what I want to invite is maybe you have some kind of different ideas how we can tune up all the waters. So please welcome to the poster, and I'll be glad to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Next one up is John Noirito. Nerito. Okay.
So, is it on there? So we're talking about the influence of... yes, Ava, the second one. Yes. So John Derito from South Africa. I'll be talking about the effect of human consciousness on water. And this is assessed indirectly by finding out if you meditate on water or give it this energy, does it make a difference in terms of how fast crops grow and how fast seedlings germinate. So there's an experiment we carried out, a few experiments, and the meditation method we used. I've been doing this for 26 years, and it's quite simple. And the understanding is that you have this thing called soul. Daniel was talking about souls and all of that, but the real, the understanding is that consciousness is a soul, and the soul is just as you have protons, electrons, and the neutrons being things that do not diminish with time. The center of consciousness, the one that controls everything, is also an eternal entity. Very, very subtle, and that's how there's a method, that's how we illustrate it, that's where it's seated. Although I don't know who has proved this, but it's a general understanding. And when one meditates, one feels that energy, the middle of the forehead. When I say I'm looking at you is when we connect, the eyes connect. So that's the method of meditation. And once you practice this for a bit of time, you're able to use this energy however you want. You can direct this energy from yourself as a soul to any other place, whether it is near, whether it is far. And in this case, we used this is just an illustration of how one can energize water. There's also a source, another soul that you can take this energy from. So in most of these experiments, I was sitting at this place. This is where I stay, somewhere in Johannesburg, at some meditation center. I work here at this place, and early morning for 30 minutes, I used to give energy to the experimental setup on the roof of that building. And this is the setup. So we have the control and the meditated seeds and the crops grown. I mean, look, set up in that way, in that particular grid. So the idea there is to minimize bias as much as you can. And you can see at the end here, you have water. So you're also energizing the water. And some of the results we have obtained as a result of that. So after doing this for 100 days, we obtained some results. So there was an 11% increase in yield, statistical significance. The nutrition content was also increased for some of the constituents a lot. We had also carried out some experiment earlier on seedling development. So measure the rate of germination of seeds. And after 10 days, you measure all the lengths that you compare. And we found large differences between the two of them. So welcome a lot. Welcome to the presentation upstairs. And I'm interested in collaborating using any other methods that are available, especially all the instrumentation that is available for the researchers around here. And I'm especially interested in this. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, John.
4 minutes.
Next one up is Hans Eng.
Okay. Hello. Can you put the poster up? Oh, I emailed you this yesterday. That's taking out my time.
Start to introduce the poster, Hans.
Yeah. Okay, I will start to introduce myself. I'm Hans Eng from Eng3 Corporation. We are located in Seattle, and we are developing, or we developed and we manufacture a medical device that is non-drug medical device in the US and in Europe as well. And the intention is to address basically chronic diseases or age-related diseases, because they have all one in common. They lost certain kind of protein function in the cells, which really means those, here's as an example in DNA, yeah, that is okay when it loses its three-dimensional structure, then it doesn't work anymore. Yeah? So for the three-dimensional structure, we learned that the ordered water around the proteins are very important. That gives back the three-dimensional structure, and then they're working again. We assume that in a human person, we have minimum 900,000 different proteins. 30,000 are so far only known, which means basically we do not know any of the proteins in our body, and how they even work together, we have no idea. But the protein folding process is for all the proteins the same. So what we did is we looked and found out what is the initial folding process in a protein, what creates it. And we saw in the literature and in a lot of other publications that a certain kind of energy that is emitted by excited oxygen is being absorbed by water and is creating this environment for the proteins then to fold. So we mimicked this kind of electromagnetic energy that is emitted by this excited oxygen to water vapor, and we see that inhaling this water vapor has huge medical benefits. So we did a lot of clinical studies with universities, double-blind controlled studies, and see that the protein functions are being reinstalled, and that the proteins have also a protection when people are using this. So that was what we started 10 years ago. In previous 2 years, 1.5 years, we added, based on the knowledge that was gained out of this community here, different other wavelengths which are amplifying the repair process. So we changed the name to from bioidentical signaling technology to bioidentical signaling plus technology. So the poster is upstairs. We are looking always for possibilities to explain this process. We have an idea, but in this audience, it is far more qualified to find the right explanation. Thank you very much.
And who needs PowerPoint?
Next one is Nikolai Sorgenfrei Blom, who apparently needs a PowerPoint. He has a very good one.
Yeah. So, thank you everyone. My name is Nikolai Sorgenfrei Blom. I'm a senior researcher at the Technical University of Denmark, and I'm building a research group that we call the Water Bridging Group or Initiative. So, I'd like to thank these wonderful professors that have been guiding me on my journey. I think we are all on a journey. So just 5 years ago, I was a regular reductionist DNA scientist, but then I stumbled into the work of this professor who said DNA is a wave. That led me to this one who says in a coherent sea. Livia Giuliani said where water is key, and then I found this one and somewhat easy. And that bridged me. It's from Denmark to Italy to Bulgaria, and now I'm standing here. And I feel this is my calling. So a few days ago I was on the plane going to Bulgaria, and this magazine for investors was in the airplane. And it had a special report on water wars. So what is this? Is water slavery going to be a thing? It's about who is investing in water. Then I read all these names, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, George Bush, Warren Buffett, so on. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is not good. No thanks. We need to do better. We need to provide a more positive outlook for the future. Fortunately, one of my friends who is an entrepreneur, he's starting a company that, amongst other things, is building a cryptocurrency based on water resources. He sent me this yesterday. We need to create another narrative, not based on hate, but based on love. I think we all represent that philosophy. We also need to think about these ones. This is my first grandchild. She appeared 2.5 months ago. Her name is Aya. If not only for myself, I want to do this research for her. And fortunately, in Denmark, we have a very progressive private foundation called the Velux Foundation. They make windows for the whole world, skylight windows. They make a fortune. They pass out some of the fortune to scientists like us. And last year, they introduced a new program called the Villum Experiment, which was for the bold research idea that might be excluded by the traditional peer review funding scheme. Sounds like Institute of Venture Science, if you are familiar with that. So I was fortunate to get a grant last year, and this year, together with Johan standing there, we got another grant from that foundation. And they will be represented, these projects, Dire Waves, Waterstruck, and Caracal, up in the poster session. Looks like this. But also we would like to invite communicators to our initiative about that we call water bridging, bringing people together from science, communication, and entrepreneur communities. We think that science cannot lift this task alone. So please come to our posters and join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikolai. And next one up is Mikael Backe.
Thank you. The pointer? The red one. Yeah. Hi, my name is Michael. I'm Nikolai's colleague. I'm a surface chemist. I used to work for almost at least 8 years in nanotechnology with surface chemistry on different kinds of sensors, and I think it dawned on me the last couple of days that involuntarily I've been working with water without even realizing it for the last at least 10 years. The last year or so I've been working on many things. From the practical point of view, I've been working specifically for characterization of a device we have in Denmark that descales water We have a problem with calcium carbonate in our water system. And nobody knows how it works. So nobody wants to touch it because there is no, it's a black box basically. It's an ultrasound emitting device. You have it here on the tubes, and it gives off a periodic signal of ultrasounds. This energizes the water, and I tried 12 different properties to analyze that, and I didn't really get through with a lot of stuff, but when I did Raman spectroscopy, I saw something weird with the drops on a Raman surface. I saw a difference after 1 hour treatment. Fundamentally, I think that pictures is not a very good, it's not a very scientific way to analyze stuff. So I took some SEM imaging of the surface, and there was a dendritic structure when you had emitted ultrasound on water, which led me to think that maybe it's the charge of the particles in the water. Therefore, I took some Zeta potential measurements, and I could see a difference between untreated and treated. It does energize the particles. So it's a start. It's quite interesting. The bad thing is that the company doesn't want to tell me the frequencies. So if anyone here can enlighten me on what sound frequencies, I know there's a frequency of water is a very broad term, but please come and visit me if you have a clue on what specific frequency they do to energize the water. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. And then we have Gerrit Oudakker.
My name is Gerrit Oudakker, and I have my own company, Tetraodon. But besides that, I'm a part-time technology scout for Wetsys and a colleague and friend of Elmar, who gave the presentation earlier. The topic I have on my poster above stairs is a device which you can tilt and of which you can extract energy. And it is based on 3 phenomena. It's based on the buoyancy. We all know Archimedes, Eureka. It's based further on gravity, Newton. And it is based on Robert Doyle, the pressure of water. And what is the characteristic of the first 2? Buoyancy and gravity has a value and a direction, but air pressure has no direction. That's everywhere. It's so-called a scalar. The device consists basically of 2 cylinders. Elk consists of an outer cylinder and inside a reversed inner cylinder, which has the weight of the displacement water. That's very important. That's a heavy weight. And why is that? We can blow up, we can blow down the water inside the inner cylinder, and in that respect the cylinder goes up and also the center of gravity go up. What we do now, we have 2 nested cylinders, we take 2, they are connected above, and what we have in this case, I can explain later when you come visit above, it's like a seesaw, you know. Okay. I have studied that really works. I have experienced that. So back to the seesaw. If we take 1 cylinder, we tilt it. Then we see that in the right cylinder, is in the upper position with air, and in the left position, it's only it's inside. So what we can do now, because in the right cylinder, what I explained, you have the air pressure which goes up, and the weight of the cylinder neutralizes that. So that doesn't require force to move up and down. The horizontal cylinder, however, has only air pressure, because the gravity is compensated by the sliding rollers, which you see schematically there. So in order to build those two things in a device, we put them on one axis. Again, is there not a pointer? Second left? 30 seconds. Okay. So that's possible. So what we see here the horizontal cylinder in the outward position, and we tilt it by a small motor, we tilt it in vertical position. What's happening now, because of the air pressure on the horizontal cylinder, it will be pushed horizontally. And that pushing power, the energy you can from that, is more than the energy required to tilt it back, this one. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. How many seconds? Special thanks to Kruter Blasius and Joe Spitera, who years ago came with a similar idea, but it doesn't work. And it cost me 81 different concepts to study, and now finally it works. And my special thanks to the people who are here. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Gerrit. And William Brown, please.
Hello, I'm William Brown. I work at Taurus Tech. It's a research and development company where we are developing novel technologies and technological applications based on principles of unified physics. I'm a biophysicist and research scientist with the group. Our poster is presenting studies that we've done with one of our inventions, the precision geometry quartz. So we're presenting data from testing done with this precision geometry quartz technology. Now, quartz has some very unique properties to it. In particular, it has the phenomenon of the piezoelectric effect, where electromagnetic or electronic stimulation will cause phonon oscillations along the electromechanical axis, and conversely, phonon activity along the electromechanical axis will cause electromagnetic emissions. And so we believe that via this EM field emission, there is perhaps a interaction of the PGQ with water. And one of the ways that we've tested that is by looking at its effects in the living system, our test organism being plants. So we allow water to be exposed to the PGQ, its EM field of interaction, and the idea is that that should change some of the properties of the water, since water is a partial dipole molecule, so it responds to electromagnetic activity. Now, when we give that water treated with the PGQ to our test organisms, we see significant increases in several parameters of vitality. This is showing increases in growth rate. So this is average stalk length over time in the plants that are being grown. The average is about 30-point measurements. And you can see that our control group, which is untreated water, has the lowest growth rate. Our groups receiving water treated with the PGQ have concordantly increasing rates of growth. So I hope you come to our poster. We can explain in more detail if you would like. Thank you.
It's going to be
Thank you, William. Next, Gita Ben-David. Yeah. Okay, it's Gita Ben-David.
I just got the posters. I have nothing to show you. I'm an author, and I'm a sound therapist, and I'm a musician. I've been working with the resonance of sound for 32 years now, and it happened because a deaf person got the hearing back when I sang. So it interested me, the resonance. I will share with you the last news that I am really into, and I'm a practical person. I know it works, but I need scientists to show what it is, because it's not me to tell what it is. What I found out is that I can, and you can, rebalance your endocrine system by an inner kind of undertone. You know, undertones is having impact on the unconscious part of us, and the ooh sound will be like the more conscious part. From here and up, the real sounds, and from here and down, the unconscious. So the unconscious sound is that's the open one. Not nice, but it's like the cat's purring, the closest we can get. And the inside, that's what I've just found out, is the hung. So the NG sound will, if you have an R sound like ah, this is the body of the note, but the NG will center this energy that you get in contact with, and you can focus that NG sound wherever you want. So I was in the menopause, and I was really depressed. I thought, this is not fun. So I laid down, and I tried to stimulate my endocrine glands. And I tried all kinds of sounds, and I found that the hung, but the undertone, hung, could stimulate my pineal gland. I did it all the way, pituitary and all this, the hypothalamus and all the way down, and I was in a splendid mood after. So I thought, that's nice. You can tell it to your wives to do this, maybe if you have one in the menopause. And then another thing is that I thought, oh, great, now I can maybe do this. It kept. But in the night, I got big pain in the neck, so it flew. Then I woke up with a big tumor on the side of the throat in the middle of the night. I put onions because it might be the gland, the lymph. So it took the sulfur is what is purifying our body. So I found out next morning that I had no pain at all in my body. And many women, they feel that all the body is starting just to fall apart immediately when they go into menopause. I have had no pain since then. So it seems like I can rebalance my endocrine system, and we can do that. And that's the end what I will say, because the glyphosate from Roundup, probably also other poisons, is putting our communication system not to work. And that's why the body cannot excrete all the toxins. So that's why I think this is very, very good tool to help yourself if you want to go through this. Thank you. This is one of my books. Only 2 books is put in English yet, and that's the Note from Heaven. That's here.
Good, thank you, Gita. And Rodolfo Fiorini.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So the title, Water Domain Quantum Coherence, the coherence modeling up to discrete continuum correspondence. Wow, what a title. Yeah, but the problem is that the current modeling are today, the best we can do is just referring to this schema for a multi-scale system. And you see that today, the current approach, we have 2 basic approaches. The first one is the top-down approach, and then we go from top to down. And then the problem is that the bottom we go, and the the feeble will be our signals and greater the noise. So the information we are interested in will always be really difficult to grasp. And then we have, so we can try the bottom-up approach, but now we have another problem, because if we start from the bottom, then we have, sooner or later, we'll have a combinatorial explosion. So, and the final result is that either way, we will be unable to describe our system at mesoscale level in a detailed way. So I propose a new framework that is a combination of statistical method, the past, with a combinatorial approach, combined together with a new framework where you can have the same system in studying, but this time that you will be able to have the mesoscale in focus and without any problem going up and down in a reversible way, if you like. And so if you are interested in this kind of thing, you see that now we have an option to choose from for our modeling projects, and we have the past half-plane space with all that properties, but now we have the OECS space, that is the new framework, that is the one that is suitable for living matter modeling without no information loss. And then is according to our needs. You know, if we need to model something that is not living, we can go on the left side because it's more convenient, it's less costly. But if we want to model living organism properties, then we have to go on the right side. Today we have a choice. It's up to you just to continue with the past or jump to the future. Thank you for your attention. If you would like to know more, visit my poster, please.
Thank you, Rodolfo. And then we have Olga Jablonskaya.
Dear colleagues, my name is Olga Jablonskaya, and it's a great pleasure to present my latest findings here at the WATI conference. So this year I was involved in testing of NanoV device. NanoV is a patented biosignaling technology that is designed to treat moistured air with near-infrared wavelength light, and this is supposed to build and maintain easy water areas. Moreover, this signal is designed to be similar to that of singlet oxygen, which has luminescence in near-infrared light as well. And singlet oxygen is reported to have biosignaling and cell-regulating properties. So we tested if a NanoV device is able of protecting enzymes from heat inactivation, oxidation, and unfolding in a special buffer. Our another object was human saliva, which obtains multiple biological functions, and we tested the total antioxidant capacity and also urate concentrations, glutathione concentrations, and albumin, which contribute to antioxidant capacity. So this is the data with horseradish peroxidase, and here we made several. The first picture we made several controls to check if NanoV has any possibility, any capability of changing the activity of not inactivated enzyme. We see that it doesn't really, but in the second, in the third, and in the fourth picture, there is data with inactivated enzymes, and we treated the enzymes before and after inactivation, and at some experimental setups, there is evident effect of NanoV vapor, where it really restores and protects the enzyme from inactivation in case of heat, oxidation, and unfolding. These are the data with alkaline phosphatase, and the study design is almost the same, and there's also evidence of protective and regenerating properties of inactivated enzyme in case of heat, oxidation, and unfolding. So these are the data with human saliva, where we asked 6 individuals to take part in this study, and this is the data for one person. And this individual inhaled NanoVi vapor for 15 minutes, and then a sample of saliva was taken immediately and used into the measurement. Then another sample was taken 13 minutes later, and the last one was taken 2 hours later. And we see that there is some sort of accumulation of the effect after the use of the NanoVi in one person in one day. So we repeated the same thing, the same test on the 2nd, on the 3rd, and on the 4th day. And in the case of this person, there is evidence of accumulation of the NanoVi vapor effect during the 4 days of the experiment. We also monitored the concentrations of urate and glutathione and albumin. There is similar data for another donor, and there is another pattern of activation of antioxidant capacity, but there is also an effect of the NanoVi device which can be visible. So the conclusions are that 1 minute long treatment with NanoVi has a moderate protective effect on the enzymes in case of heat inactivation, oxidation, and denaturation. And antioxidant capacity of human saliva increased after donors inhaled NanoVi vapor for 15 minutes, and the concentrations of urate and other antioxidants of saliva also altered in case of using of NanoVi vapor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Olga. And then we have Anna Orlova. Or is it Orlova? How do you pronounce it?
Good afternoon. I want to present to you my work, a change in structure of aqueous solution of levoglucosan upon heating. A single solution was heated to a certain temperature, kept it with temperature for 10 minutes, and then optical rotation when continuously measured for 30 minutes. Specific optical rotation changed considerably when solution was heated from 28 to 44 degrees. We decided to add more data points at temperature and particularly interesting interval. The difference between specific optical rotation for the same solution measured at the same temperature on different days is very large. With the results suggested the solution history is important for the correct measurement of optical rotation. Comparison between optical rotation values for the 3 different solutions measured on the day of preparation suggests that even during 1 day after preparation of solution, considerable change in solution structure can take place. For previous studies of levoglucosan solutions, it's known that the structure varies this time over weeks. Here we found that this change commences within house. The predictable issues were solved when the study of optical rotation at various temperatures was carried out exclusively on freshly prepared solution. 2 different temperature ranges can be identified on the plot of specific rotation separated by critical temperature at 30 degrees. With temperature considered with critical temperature that we found earlier, then studying aqueous solution of allyl lactazide. Also, in this case, effect is much more noticeable. You can see more details on the poster. You are welcome, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Anna. And then the last person up is Max Vrecko.
presentation? Yes? Okay. While we solve this technical issue, just no. I sent it to you yesterday. Yeah. Okay. I'm coming from Slovenia, actually from. We have to do something for intro that you saw this. From Gorenjska region, and Gorenjska region people are very well known as to be kind of as a Scottish people, the Scots who are always taking care of their money. So there is a joke that Slovenian guy or Gorenjska guy and guy from Scotland are having conversation, and the guy from Scotland, he says, I really saved a lot of money today. I ran after the bus to my work. And the guy from Gorenjska, from my region, says, you know what, you're an amateur. I was running behind a taxi to get to... So, okay. But still, I'm coming from company Flaška, and our mission is everything what we are now talking about, to have it in everyday life. Everything started in 2003. It was my awakening moment, and we are talking a lot about plants during the conference, because plants really do show the difference between one water and another. And when a friend of mine suggested, you know what, you should plant your strawberries with structured water to get better results, I said, well, interesting idea, and I tried it, although being really skeptical. And the point is, when you see these results with your own eyes and senses, and let's say this picture, it's the same strawberries after the strawberry season when they are tired. On the right side you see control, and on the left side strawberries grown with structured water. Then you say, well, this is huge. I just have to do it. And we were using this water for next 6 years, tried it in different circumstances, and it worked perfect. And so the idea from there was, okay, let's bring this to the people. Let's have more benefit than just the strawberry field, although strawberries were excellent, believe me. So we came to Flaška, where the technology of which we were using in the strawberry field, the technology is quite old, from Victor Schauberger's time, is implemented. And I believe you don't want to hear about boring stuff, how we do that. You're invited to our booth. It's just quickly we go across. What this conference is a lot about is research and measurement. Here you see quite some of them, and our philosophy is that water is way more complex than to do just one measurement. We have to look at the water from different perspectives in order to see a picture. And the best measurement is, I wouldn't call it scientific, but it's a real life measurement. So that means you get some results in laboratory, and the results are extremely important for understanding of water. But when you have a product and you have it in the real life, you soon see if it is working or not. And our product, after 8 years, I can say it's working. The customers are happy with it. They feel the difference in the taste of the water. And it's simply the mission that we will continue going on. And it's just my final question to you. Are you drinking just water? Are you drinking an average water? Or are you drinking best water that you can get in that particular place and time? and I believe this has huge effect on your health, and I wish you that you will all drink the best possible water. Thank you.